Okay, there we go. Now we're getting some audio. All right. Let's try this again. So, I'm going to play. Bear with me here, folks. Got my screen here. I don't like how that happened. Wonder why it did that. Okay, I wonder if I were to put that as an overlay. Yeah, that might work. Let's see, can I pop out the chat? Can't pop out the chat, really? That doesn't make sense. Should be a way. How do I pop out? Oh, that's not what I want. I want to pop out the chat. Well, this is what happens when you don't stream in a year. You forget how to use the software. Let's see here if we can figure this out. You used to be able to pop it out, I thought. Slow mode. Okay. That's really strange that you can't pop that out. Studio mode. Okay, interesting. Alright, now we're going to have to play around with this. Editor. Layout editor. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's not what we want. Where? Ah. Okay, where do I go? Hello, Jackster. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear my audio? Just a sec here. Sound is good. Oh, awesome. I'm just trying to set things up. It's been well over a year since I've streamed. And of course, they change the software, they make updates, so I'm a little rusty here, so bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Alright, this must be where I am. Now, I thought you could pop out the chat. I'm not seeing how you can do that. I'm going to have to look into that after. Alright, let's play. Let me see if I can do that and have the chat on. How about right there? How does that look? Doesn't look too bad. Maybe I should move that up a little bit. Yeah, that's probably a little better, eh? So how you doing chess-wise, Jackster? You improving? Okay, looks like that's the best that we can do. Alright. Well, obviously I'm going to have to play around with this on my own time. Okay, well, I'll play around with that later. And in the interim, let's play chess. Wow, you're going for your CM. That's awesome, Jackster. Good for you. Good for you, man. Alright, let's go into live chess. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Well, I've only played online, so I don't play in person that much anymore. Okay, let's see here. There, that's better. Yeah, that looks okay. Alright, let's see if I can. So I'm going to play some 3-2. I should be in the 2200s. I lost about, I don't know, 150 points yesterday, so haven't had the best day yesterday, chess-wise. Do I want to play a game? Yeah, sure, after this one. How about you challenge me to 3-2? Alright, I'm going to play some Queen's Gambit declined. Oh, you can't see the H file. Okay. 1 second. Yes, I see. That's all messed up, isn't it? Let me fix that. Okay. Can you see it now? I made an adjustment. Let me know if you can see the H file now. You still can't see it. Why? Hide on stream, remove, hide, invert. Ah, there we go. Now you should see it. I had to click a button. Okay. So I've been playing this line in the Queen's Gambit declined. Reshevsky variation, where you come back here with the knight. And typically, you either want to put the knight here or here. And this bishop can come to g4, but as my opponent has just played h3, that's not going to happen. But this can be an attacking piece. if I ever get my queen to g5, for example, the bishop and the queen can put some pressure on the king. Now, what to do against h3? I could go bishop d6 because this bishop really wants to be on that diagonal. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Bishop d6 because I don't want his knight going in there. Jackster asks, do you play with this knight e6, g7, g6, bishop f5 idea? Yes, I have played that before. That's also an idea. So Jackster is saying knight here, here, bring the knight into g7, and then you can put the bishop on f5. I have indeed played that. I never know whether to play a5 in these structures or not, so I'm going to play a5 this time. Okay, now knight e6 or knight g6. Okay, let's do this one. Let's play g6, knight g6. And I'm going to play h6 next if he lets me. Okay, if he takes this knight with this bishop, I'm going to take his other bishop. So one nice thing about putting the knight on g6 is that it covers these two squares. So if he wanted to move his bishop to either of those squares, I would take it with the knight. Okay, bishop f5. Let's see here. So we've got the knight and the bishop headed towards the king's side. I'd love to get my queen onto h6. Add some pressure here, perhaps. Now I will take that with the queen. Take his queen at that square. So I would expect b5 because he wants to, okay, I'll play queen e6 just to get it over here. Okay, he did do that. I find that curious. Now, unfortunately, I have major time trouble issues. This would be an interesting position to play if I hadn't wasted all my time. Yeah, so now this is just lost because I'm going to lose that pawn. Okay, so I'll resign here. I'm low of time. I drop that pawn. Let's see here. I do need to fix my stream though. How come Is the board showing up here? Hey, Pawn Grubber. Good to see you. Do you see the board? I'm getting used to the new Streamlabs. Yeah, no board, eh? That's really weird. What happened? Sorry, guys. I'm a little rusty with my Streamlabs. No board. That's interesting. Let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to go in the live chess. You guys don't see anything, eh? That really sucks. Okay, just a sec. I'll re-add it. I'm going to add the window capture again. Okay, here we go. Chess.com. Okay. I'm just going to fix this here. Okay. Yeah, I had forgotten how finicky Streamlabs is. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Oops. Okay, then I just have to publish this. There we go. Alright, I don't know what I did. But anyway. Jackster, do you want to play? If you want to play, send me a challenge. Let's see if you're online here. Don't see you. You'll challenge me after a game? Okay, sure. I'll play another one. Alright. Alright, I've been dabbling with the closed Sicilian. I used to play a closed Sicilian early on in my chess life. It doesn't give white much, but it's just another wrinkle to throw at your opponents. I do play open Sicilian as well. Generally, though, people want to avoid the theory of the open Sicilian, and so they'll choose a system like this, the closed. Okay, so this is a pawn sack line. The idea is you want to be able to bring your knight here, and you're going to put pressure on the c5 pawn, and you're going to look at these two squares as well. Yeah. Let's move number 1. Now, let's see. D takes E5. It's been a while since I've played this. Do I play knight E4 right away? Do I take on C5? Let's see. Takes, and then bishop D4, trading the bishops. I don't really care for that. But I honestly don't remember how this line goes. Okay, I'm going to try takes and knight E4. So I'm asked, Ishek Hub City Chess. Hello! That looks like my friend Daniel. Nice to see you again. No, London. Well, you might see a London later. I haven't given up entirely on the London. I've been focusing a lot on E4 though. Okay. So I could grab a pawn, and then he's got queen b6. Queen b6. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. I play c5. Maybe I'll just play queen f2. So that if he does play queen b6, at least I'm protecting my knight. Okay, here we go. Alright, that I think is a mistake. Unless I'm missing something. Because my bishop is going to be hitting. Okay. Gonna take advantage of it though. Knight takes c5, pawn takes c5, bishop takes. I get 2 pawns. Yeah, I get 2 pawns for it. But then he will grab the d3 pawn. Okay. I think that might be the best I have, unfortunately. What about knight f6? Is knight f6 anything? Knight f6 looks interesting. So obviously I'm not going to be able to play these 3-2 games. Okay, I'm going to have to go for this just because I'm running out of time. Which is really unfortunate. I'll have to play some 5-minute games, I think. I forgot that I'm slower when I stream. Okay. I would have thought he would have taken my pawn on d3. So I don't think that this is really the way I wanted this to go. Yeah, I think based on the fact that the king was weak around the dark squares, I wanted to keep the queen on the board so that I could attack the king, but I made a practical decision. That's a good move right there. Yeah, he's going to go to d4. I want to play rook a3. Put some pressure on the bishop. Yeah, this has got to be better for black. Yeah. It's not looking good. really good example of where the two pieces are stronger than the one rook. Yeah, this is bad. So I'm going to resign here. Okay. Obviously 3-2 is way too fast for me when I'm streaming. We should play some 15-15 sometimes. Yeah, sure. We could do that. Probably not today. I'm just in the mood for a little shorter time control, but definitely would be up for that in the future. Okay, let's change the time control a little slower here. Well, actually, I just want to look at that game really quick. Let's look at that really quickly. Okay, yeah. So this is a pawn sack line, and I don't want to analyze with the computer. There we go. Okay, so takes. This is all normal. Now I took back here, which I think is correct. Takes, and then I played knight e4. Yeah, computer didn't like that. Maybe. I wasn't so sure about this if I sack the rook. I think I sacked the rook. Oh, Jackster is challenging me. Holy smokes, Jackster, you're higher rated than me. All right. All right, let's try this knight f6 stuff again. Oh shit, it looks like the board has left my stream again. Did the board disappear for you as well? I'm not seeing it in Streamlabs. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but let me take a look on Twitch here. See if the board is showing up there, or is it not?
Much had changed since I was last in USA.
No, it's not me.
I had become famous.
Any of this guys?
Kinda looks like you.
This is not like me.
People had become experts on this plague.
If you think you see a virus go like that,
You do that, and I get after.
America had become great again.
Do not let go of the club.
Okay, F3.
What was the first thing I said?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it knight g6, or do I play knight g6, or do I play knight h5? Do I play knight h5? Do I play knight h... Yeah, you're not seeing the board. I just noticed that. Not a big fan of Streamlabs right now. Okay. Yeah, I think I normally play knight h5 here. And let me fix, I know you guys aren't seeing the board, so let me fix that. guys should see the board now. You should be able to see the board now. So this knight is holding on to this pawn, defending against the pressure there. Yeah, okay, e4 expanding in the center. Now, bishop e6, is that the move? Because he's got two guys attacking my d-pawn here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get away with this idea. So if he pushes, I'll probably play whoops. If he pushes, I'll play g6 so that I can bring my knight back here. Because he's, he has a threat of g4. Okay, so he's getting off of that line. But now I'm going to play this move because then I have two knights looking at this square. So I'd like to put one of the knights in there. Okay, so he's pushed, which is logical. So now, problem now, if I jump in here, he's going to trade, and then he's going to win this pawn via the bishop. So, I could try queen h4. Queen h4 is probably the way I gotta go. So the queen indirectly is defending. This is interesting. I think he can win a piece, or I mean, he's going to force me to sack a piece for two pawns. He could take here and play g4, and there's no square for my knight. My knight wouldn't be able to hop into here because the queen would be blocked by the pawn, which is on g4. Well, that's interesting. What do I do in that case? Okay, so he didn't want to go for that. Understandable. So if I put a knight in here, does he have g3? Let's see, knight there, g3, queen h3. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I think I've misplayed this somehow. I think I'm misplaying this. do I deal with G3? That is a big threat. Oh, man, oh, man. All right, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm going to play H6 here. Give me an opportunity to maybe trade the queens off or offer a queen trade. But I think I'm in trouble here. I think I've misplayed this somewhere. All right. Is he going to push G4? I don't see why he shouldn't. Pretty much forcing me to snap that with the bishop. G4, bishop. I mean, I've got two pawns, but it's not going to be enough. Not going to be enough, I don't think. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good approach. That is a good approach, sir. Yeah, so now I'm just down a piece. A piece for literally nothing. Yeah, trade the pieces. When you're ahead material, trade the pieces. All right, let's throw this in. This probably is just a bunch of malarkey, but let's create some dynamic elements to the position, perhaps. Well, I'm still punting here, I guess. Down a rook. Don't know if I can muster anything, but we'll try. I could take on f3, but I mean that just helps him because I'm down a rook after all. Yeah. go. Probably should have thrown in h4 to deflect the queen. That's what I should have done. Okay, gotta do this, but it's not really helping. Yeah, I'm just down a rook here. I'm pretty sure Jackster can finish this. Alright, let's see where I went wrong. Good game, Jackster. Yeah, I might have been a little too optimistic here. Let's see where I went wrong. Looks like the game didn't go your way. No, of course it didn't. I lost. Okay. So, alright, let's see here. Maybe bishop e6 wasn't correct. Wasn't the best way. Okay, no, okay, bishop e6. King h1. Jackster says, I think knight g6 may have been bad because your knight on h5 was unfortunate. That's a good point, Jackster. Yeah, I think that was a little too ambitious by me. I was trying to get a knight to this square. But unfortunately, this knight is running low on squares himself, so he's only really got this square to go to, and after Jackster's next move, he's taken away this square from my knight. So I always had this threat where this knight has nowhere to go. Well, I mean, computer says it's 0.97 for white. That's a pretty strong advantage, though. I think you're right. I think there's got to be something better than knight g6. I wonder, maybe I just I take on. I don't like taking on e4 and opening the file for white, but maybe I have to, because this e5, f4, f5, it's quite strong. I would be concerned about that. Even after g6, I would be concerned. But let's see, g6, e5, f4. Oh, sorry, it's black's move. Okay, so knight back. Knight g3. See, white has a very simple plan here. But maybe this is okay. Maybe I'm just in time. h5, f4, and I've always got h4 to kick the knight. And if this knight ever moves, we've got knight f5. Yeah. Yeah, I like your idea. Maybe g6 definitely would have been a lot better than what I played in the game. Alright. You want to play another one, Jackster? Awesome. Alright. Here we go. Try to play better this game. Yep, 5-5 is good. Alright, the Caro-Kann, alright. Muting the stream, awesome. Sounds good, Jackster. Alright, I like to play the exchange variation. Doesn't get a lot of play at the high level, but I like it because it's a positional game, and it's very straightforward, the development, as you can see. Caro-Kann is tough for white to crack anyway, because black doesn't have any obvious weaknesses. Okay. So these are all typical moves, both sides. The queen does look a little funny on c8, but had Jackster gone to d7, he would always have to be concerned about knight e5 hitting the queen on d7. So, okay, so yeah, I never know whether to take that, whether to play queen c2, bishop f1. Bishop f1 makes sense to keep the bishop on the board. The problem is that bishop, it really takes that square away from a rook. Okay. I want to leave some pieces on, so we're going to play bishop f1, see what happens here. Okay. Now, let's hop right in. So this is an outpost. When you put your knight on e5, it's supported by a nice pawn. Now, do I want to take with the bishop or do I take with the pawn? A lot of times I take with the pawn, but I think in this instance I'm going to take with the bishop. If I were to take with the pawn, I didn't like knight c5, knight d7 and then knight c5, because from this square it's a very powerful square for the knight, and it also attacks my queen. And I like just having this diagonal open for my bishop. Okay. Okay, queen. Oh, that makes sense. Hello, Metal Eagle. Nice to see you. You're still around too, huh? Good to see you. Okay. Alright, I want to gain some space on the queen side. So that could be useful. If black sometimes likes to play a6 and b5, so by me playing a4, makes it harder for him to do that. I might play a5 myself at some point. Further up the board, taking away this square from black's pieces. Metal Eagle, I have not seen you in a very long time. How are you this year? Yes, it's been a long time. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I've taken a long hiatus, but I think now is the time to get back into streaming. Okay, so I could take the knight and double up the pawns, but this is an example where the double pawns are not a bad thing. The pawn is in the center, influencing the e5 square, and because he still has his bishop, the fact that this pawn leaves the g-file is not so bad because the king is defended by the bishop, so we don't have opportunities on the G file. Had his bishop not been there, then taking that knight would have opened his king up quite a bit. Okay. Okay, let's see. Knight f3. Yeah, knight f3, and he probably is going to go bishop h5 or bishop e4. I think I'll just take that and play knight f3 and then hop my knight into e5. Just play simple. Play simple. Simple chess. Alright, so I'm doing a lot better this game than I did last game against Jackster. Haven't screwed up yet. Okay, so this knight wants to go to this square. I have to decide which side of the board I want to play on. I have some good space here on the queen side with the pawn. I've got the queen here, the bishop. Okay, so if I ever take b7, he's going to win. He's going to win b2. So I don't want to do that, especially since his queen is now on the king side. Okay. This is one disadvantage of the exchange Caro-Kann for white, though, is that if black wants to, he can trade off most of the minor pieces. And so if Jackster wants to, he could play knight g4, attacking the knight, but then also threatening mate, and also threatening the f2 square. If I were him, I would do that because right now my knight is more active than his. His knight is closer to his king. Now he's always got to want to be careful with forking opportunities. Okay, now I could play g3. I don't think g3 would be that weak of a move. So let's play g3. I might want to fianchetto my bishop. It also gives my king a potential exit square. And now this idea with knight g4, he's not threatening mate, and he won't be threatening the f2 square with his queen and knight, because his queen has to move. Question is, does he go to f5, g5, or h6? Those are, or you could go to d2, but yeah, f5, that makes sense. Can I play bishop to d3? Bishop d3, and then he's got to move his queen again. So queen h5. Then I could take the bishop with what now? With my bishop or with the knight? I'm not sure what to do here. What to do? Bishop d3, queen h5. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes. Yeah, I'm always concerned, with the queen being there, the knight coming in and having pressure there. So that's why I'm hesitant to trade my knight off for his bishop. So I think I might not even. I think I might just push a5 here. Push a5. Yep. Because I don't think his queen is in the best spot. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes queen h5 right now, because right now the queen, it's in the way of its bishop, right? let's see. Let's see what he comes up with. So another thing that I like about, throwing the a-pawn up the board here is, yes, it gains more space, and it also gives my rook an opportunity to come up this way. So that's also an idea in this line. Okay, so he's going knight e4. Okay. Now, I gotta be careful. Yes, I could fork the rooks here. But he would have a very strong check coming in here. And I don't see a way that he would be winning material. He's not going to checkmate me, but it would be an exchange, and you have a pawn for the exchange. So I definitely don't want to allow him to take. So do I play queen c2? Queen c2 might be okay. Or rook e2. f3. f3 is probably going knight d2, so I think I'll play queen c2, where my queen helps, and also put some pressure along this diagonal. So thanks for joining my stream, everybody. Hope you're all well. Where's everybody from? I'm in Canada, Atlantic Canada, to be more specific. Okay, so now I'm going to try my idea there. My little rook lift move. Put the rook here, put some pressure on b7. Any other Canadians in the chat? Okay, so yeah, it's time to trade the queens. His queen is a lot more active than mine. Okay. Decided to abandon my idea of the rook lift. That might get me into trouble, but we'll see. We shall see. Time pressure. Got the time pressure blues again. Too much yakking. Yakety yak. Yeah. So this is a nice juicy square for a knight, so if I were him, I would have taken that knight off the board, but that is a very strong knight. Okay, that was probably a dumb move. Well, maybe not. I've got very nice move, Jackster. Very nice move. Okay. He was attacking my c3 pawn. So I had to do something about that. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to decide on a move here. Didn't want to take that, but what can you do? What can you do? Okay, let's push that. I'm going to sacrifice this pawn, hopefully. I'll get it back. I'm doing that to get some play. Attack the bishop. Now rook d4 looks strong for him. Okay, so I'll just take the e-pawn. Okay, typical Caro-Kann. Rook endgame. Okay. Let's see. Rook here. Okay, rook here. I have not been around a while. Apathy says, yes. Been about a year since my last stream, so had some well, some things happen personally, and I was just taking a little break. Okay. Okay, interesting. Surprised he did that. Maybe he found a concrete solution. Takes, rook b5. Okay. Let's throw a check in, see where he's going to go. Another check in. I want to be able to play rook e7. Now let's defend the pawn. Yeah, I think he may have given up his advantage there. Understandable. Okay, no, I don't want to do that because then the king takes. Well, now that I look at this, he probably still has the advantage. Outside pass pawn. Outside pass pawn is going to give me fits. What's the best way to do this? Rook b7? Yeah, probably rook b7. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, I think my pawns are not far enough. I'm not sure about this. Doesn't help that my king is not further up the board either. Let's see how he wants to do this. Got to get my king out, otherwise his rook was going to prevent my king. His king might be just active enough. Okay. I'm going to give up the f-pawn. So make sure my king is active enough. sure about this though. I should have at least a draw here. Might have some good winning chances here too now. Now the rook is tied down to that pawn. I should be able to push the G pawn now. Yeah, okay. King here. Ah, he's got rook there. Very nice. Nice idea. Nice idea. Shucks. I wonder if I messed that up. Well. Looks like it's going to be a draw. Yep. Alright, good game, Jackster. Very nice. Yeah, it was a crazy endgame. Let's see what happened there at the end. I thought I had some chances, but... Curious if I had to sack the f-pawn. So when you played rook takes f2, where was that? Okay, hold on now. Yeah, right here. So computer here says minus 0.13, so it probably is a draw then. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what the tutor says. Yeah, computer's only given king e4. My concern about playing f4 was that he would have king here. Once the king gets over here, he's going to get there first, ahead of the pawns. So then he can... Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So then he would get behind. Rook a3 does make more sense, yes. Yeah, rook a3 makes more sense. So now the rook is keeping the king at bay, and he should be able to just, I would think, king e6. Oh, king e4, of course, yes, king e4. What am I doing? King e4, attacking this. The pawn has to be either pushed or taken. takes. Then we go over here, gobble this. Yeah, this is good for black. Okay, so I did make the right decision to play king e4. I take the opposition. Sacrifice the pawn. Yeah, and this, I guess this was a draw. Yeah, it says it's equal. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's something I recall reading in I think it was Jeremy Silman's Endgame course, which is a great book, by the way. Whenever you're the one with the pawns against the rook, you want your pawns, I think it's the 5th rank. You want them at least at the 5th rank, or it might be the 6th rank. Well, the 6th rank would be obvious, so it must be the 5th rank. And if you have them there before the king has been able to get to, well, basically in front of the pawns, then you have excellent winning chances. So in this position here, I don't think I was ever able to achieve that, because his rook was just so active. Yeah, and his king can follow along, so. Okay. Very good. Very good. Thanks for the games, Jackster. Check the middle game. Feel like I played inaccurate moves somewhere. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I thought you had an advantage. Right around here. Yeah, computer says -1, which makes sense because I thought you were better here. I thought you left me off the hook when you took here. Yeah, I didn't like rook takes a5, and I think you should just keep the pressure. Maybe expand on the king side? I mean, this is tough, right? This is what makes chess so tough, is that, you know, you've got these beautiful rooks supporting a strong pass pawn. My rooks are terrible. And you want to come out with a killer blow, but so many Grandmaster games, it's all about small advantages and squeezing the opponent. And so I think maybe g5, h5, and then maybe bringing your king up. You know, maybe you could get in here and put some pressure on my pawns over here. Yeah, definitely thought that you were better at this point. Jackster says, maybe like getting a pawn to g4 and the other to h5 if I'm able to. Yes. Yeah, if you could get your pawn here, that pawn would be really good. It would bog down my f and h pawn. Very good. All right. Care for another game, Jackster? It's okay if you don't have time. I mean, I can play other people. Let me know if you have time for another game. 2 more if you have time. Okay, sure, Jackster. Let's play 2 more. And then I think I'll wrap it up, because I do have to eat supper at some point. Okay. So thanks everybody who is watching. Hope you're having a nice Sunday. My new favorite system, the Scandinavian Portuguese variation. I bought a book by David Smerdon, who is an Australian GM. He published a book on the Scandinavian, I think 2017. And so it's, I would call it the definitive resource on the Portuguese Scandinavian, or the knight f6, two knight f6 Scandinavian, more accurately. It's a fun system. I like it. Yeah, I mean, the top players probably think it's garbage, but I'm never going to reach that level, and chess should be fun, and I like this line, and there's ways for white to go wrong, and you can get some really fun positions, attacking positions as black, so those are the reasons why I play it, even though maybe objectively it's not the best opening for black. I think it's got some good practical opportunities when you play it. Now I was thinking queen a5, but I'm concerned about knight g4 hitting this, which is unbelievably annoying. So I might have to play queen f5. Yeah, I think I'll go with queen f5. That way my queen is lined up with this pawn, and I can defend it by moving my knight. Okay, castles, yeah. Okay, I get away with e5 right now. e5. I think I normally play e5 in this position. I could play e6. Rook g8, g5. I know that's played sometimes. Yeah, I might try that. I might play e6 and try the, see if I can get away with rook g8, that idea. I normally go for e5 pushes, but I want to see what happens if I go e6 here. I mean, one downside about playing e5 is that, you know, white will take, and then that opens up the bishop towards my king. I might have to play a6 here just to kick the knight out of b5, because I want my bishop on d6. This is the diagonal that that bishop belongs. Because my play will be on the king side or the center. Okay, good move. He's playing a3. He's probably going to play b4. So if I go a6, b4, bishop d6, b5 looks strong here. Takes, knight takes. Yeah, I don't want to open up the b file for him. I wonder if I can play knight d5. It would delay b4 temporarily anyway. That actually may not be so bad. Knight d5 takes, takes. And then I might be able to achieve my bishop d6 idea. Okay. I'll go for that. Because that knight on c3 can be a real pest. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get away with my a6 push because of b4, b5. So if I can trade off that knight on c3, I'll be able to put my bishop on this diagonal, which is where I want to be. Now, I think the only move that makes sense here would be taking with the pawn. Because if I were to take with the queen or the rook, he's going to play c4, tempoing the piece on d5, so he would get essentially a free move. That's what we mean by tempoing. It means your opponent has to deal with a threat of yours immediately, and therefore he's not able to do, well, he's not able to continue his plan because he's busy dealing with your threat. Okay, I thought he might do that anyway, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, I could play bishop d6 and try to entice c5, but I think that's to his advantage. I could take and then play against the isolated pawn. He would have an isolated pawn on d4. I think I have to make a decision on this move right now, because if I play bishop, let's say d6 or even e7, he's probably going to push c5, and then that makes b4, b5 that much stronger with that pawn. So, I'm going to take that. Now, originally I was going to play queen d5, but now I'm looking at rook d5. Rook d5 might be best. Problem is, if I go bishop d6, can he get away with d5? I think he can. Kicking my knight and then unleashing this bishop, and that's what I want to prevent. I don't want his bishop to have that freedom, so rook d5 looks interesting to me. Let's see what happens with rook d5. Okay, yeah, putting pressure on the c file, yeah, basically means my knight can't move, because this would be checkmate. So now can I finally achieve my bishop to d6 dream? Nice thing about taking back here with the rook is that it eyes the b. Yeah, exactly, and Jackster's going for that plan. So I've got two guys that are looking at b5. Okay, so now I think I will play a6. Oystein, hello! Thanks for coming back. Nice to see you again. I'm doing okay. How about yourself? Okay. Yeah, he is putting some pressure, but I've got three guys covering that square, so that should be okay. I should be okay. Now I want to try my rook g8, g5 move. That's what I want to do next. Aha, aha. Now it's going to get spicy. So g5, b4, takes, takes. Aha. Do I have to play knight a7? That would be unfortunate if I have to play that move. That would be really unfortunate. Looks like I'm one move too slow. Well, I think I just got to go for it. This is gonna get exciting. Been a long time since my last stream. Yes, it has. About a year, over a year, I believe. So he's opening up lines, which is what you want to do when you're attacking. Yep. So he's doing everything that's logical here. I would have thought taking back with the pawn is automatic, but maybe he's looking at rook takes. Okay. Knight a5, queen a4, yeah, and then he's probably gonna, yeah, I don't believe in that. So I'm gonna play knight e7. Hope you won't wait another year until next time. Well, I think I'm gonna get back into it, Oystein, so don't you worry. Okay, so he wants to come here. Okay. Now I think we... Can I bring the king out? King out. 95, takes. Yeah, I think I have to. I have to take my chances here. Yeah. Might have to play f6 to cover this square. I'm curious, if he plays knight e5, I might be able to sack my rook. Okay, so he is going after that pawn. That makes sense. Okay, well I gotta get some counterplay here. There's no question. So I am going to sack that. So we're threatening mate. Well, no, we're not threatening mate, but we're threatening queen takes. Okay, here we go. Threaten the bishop. Okay. Queen g5 do anything? Queen h5. Well, let's go queen g5 for lack of a better move. He takes there. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm lost here now. That's too bad. Thought I had some compensation. But again, my time trouble. This is an easy win for white. I don't have enough. Yeah, he's going to play rook c1. Very good, Jackster. You are kicking my butt. You're doing well. Let's see, where did we go wrong there? Yeah, I thought I, for some reason, underestimated or overlooked your a4. So let's have a look here. So the position here is, the computer says 0.15, which, yeah, I mean, that made sense to me. I thought this looked fine. Then you played b4 and the evaluation shoots up. Interesting. So computer wants to play rook e8. a6 is fine. Rook b1, yeah. Now rook g8, I guess, is too slow. Interesting, because I've seen that idea a few times. Oh, I had rook b5. Oh, there's an idea. Okay, I overlooked that idea. Of course. Idea being that, yes, if he does play a4, then I can take the pawn, because I have 3 guys now on that pawn. Shoot. Yeah, that would have been quite a resource. What if I play bishop d2 and then a4, Jackster asks. Yeah, good question. Let's try. Bishop d2. Bishop d2. Do I have to play queen d5? Maybe just queen d5, which is kind of unfortunate, but yeah, try to get the queens off. Curious though, what happens on, say, queen d3, for example? Ooh, queen d3, that wouldn't. Well, queen d3, I thought I could play knight e5. Thought I had this, but what am I missing? That's not good. It's a blunder. See, I thought with the queen, you've got this check. You've always got queen f5 check. Okay, yes. Yeah. See, the queen is undefended, so the pawn here, he can't take back with the pawn, right? So that's what I was hoping for. Okay, so I can't do that. Now, there's a threat here of just a4, and my rook looks a little silly. But maybe I can just play queen f5. Yeah. And ask you, what are you going to do? Maybe queen b3. Queen b3 or queen c3? Which one do you want to try? Play queen e3. Okay. Queen e3. Okay, so a4. Well, now that I've vacated the d5 square, my rook could always just come back to d5. So, maybe I just don't worry too much about a4. Got to get my rook involved, my other rook. e8 looks like it would do something, but I really want to play rook e8, but of course you just take it with the queen, so I'm wondering if I have a move like king d8 here, so that I can play rook e8. Is that too ridiculous? Have to go, but good to see you back again, Fisher, says Oystein. Well, thanks for popping in, Oystein. I hope to see you again, too, on the next stream. I wonder if this is such a ridiculous move. Computer doesn't like it. a4. Rook d5. Yeah, okay. Well, regardless, this is definitely easier for white to play. I mean, black is having to find some very... Yeah, rook takes c6 ideas are lurking, says Jackster. Very good. In the offing, yeah. Okay. I'll have to look into this a little deeper then. See where it could have improved. Okay, do you have time for one more game? I've got time for one more if you do. I've got to make it my last game though, because this took a little longer than I thought, so I have to go now, unfortunately. Okay, that's all right, Joxer. Well, thank you very much for the games. Every game was very interesting, and I'm going to look into them a little further to see what else I could learn from them. So, thanks for the games, and yeah, you are a tough cookie. We'll have to play again. Well, thanks for popping by, Jackster. Appreciate it. You have yourself a wonderful day, and hope to see you again in the next stream. Okay. I'll play one more. Play one more. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find 5-5. See if I can find people that want to play 5-5. I might also have to look for a different time control. May not find people at 5-5. I'll see 3-2. I've seemed to have quite a bit of success finding people with 3-2. Yeah, there you go. Alright, here we go. Let's finish off on a winning note. He's got to be careful with h3. In that last position, he would have been able to take it, because if I were to take back, he would have had knight f3, forking the king and queen. And so that's why I played f4, because I'll be able to take takes f3 if that ever happened. Now, can I play f5? Probably A little premature for that. What about rook f2? Doubling up. Okay, play this. I've been toying with this kind of idea too. He's going to go for queenside expansion with b5 and probably b4. I like meeting that with b4 myself. Okay, so we're going to get some pieces traded here. He doesn't go for the piece. Interesting. All right. Just wanted to provoke that, but I don't think that that helped me more than it helped him, because my king wants to come to h2 anyway, so I was wanting to play h3 at some point. Okay, king in the center. Ideally, we want to open up some lines. Well, let's do that. Let's see how he takes back. Is he going to take back with the bishop and line up his bishop with my king? No, he's going to take with a pawn. All right. So I might want to take on f5 just to see how he's going to take. Because he might give me the e4 square if he takes back on f5 with a piece. But if he takes with a pawn, he's going to have the hanging pawn structure. Yeah, I do like my pawn on e4 though, because it keeps his pieces out of d5. So I think I'm just going to keep the tension, and let's go with my original idea of playing on the queen side as well. So playing b4. If he ever takes on e4, oh wow, c4. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, can I play rook d1 maybe? He threatened a double. Okay, now I'm going to play rook. I'm going to play rook e1. Okay. I'm going to line up my rook with his king, and I want to see. We can open up the lines. Okay, so he's targeting the d3 pawn. Makes sense. Yeah, so rook e1 was incorrect, unfortunately. Should have played rook d1. So that was a mistake on my part. Need to defend this guy. I probably should just bring the bishop back. Okay, what are you doing? Knight there. Okay. Right there is fine. Yeah, I want to move this bishop back because I want to be able to take that knight when he goes back. And now we have closed the file, so he doesn't have pressure on d3 anymore. And earlier, if I were to do that, if my bishop was on e3, this pawn would have been forking both pieces. So, okay, so the rook doesn't need to be on d1 anymore. I would imagine he's going to play rook c8. Maybe we're going to trade rooks. Okay, let's open up the G bishop. The G2 bishop, rather. The G bishop. The G2 bishop. Okay. Oh, I ran out of time. Shucks. Alright. I got to get used to the streaming again. I'm a little too rusty with my streaming. Streaming and playing at the same time. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the position here. See what Patutor thinks. Okay, I didn't like my... interesting. Alright, I was planning on playing this move here. That's what I was intending to do. And then I wanted to play knight in here and look at that square. Maybe rook c5, double up. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got to go, everybody, so thanks for those that are tuning in. This is my first stream in over a year, and I'm going to have to learn to set up the stream a little bit better. It's still very rudimentary, but I'll tinker with it. So until next time, everybody, you guys have a good day.